Well, thank you, Professor Dinnan. He ran this debate very efficiently. Could you imagine for the last 1.5 hours we even didn't have applause? Usually we would have it here. Anyway, so thank you, the distinguished panelists. Also, thank you for a great debate, very rich, very comprehensive. I learned 3 things, and also I wanted to push 3 things forward. The 3 things I learned is the global economic structure, global agricultural markets, or even global agricultural production, importance of structure have changed over time. Eugenio mentioned that, Stefan mentioned that. Just about a week ago, the World Bank released a very important report to show that the global economy, the structure of the global economy has changed. Now India now is number 3, the 3rd largest economy. China is the number 1 based on the World Bank. It's PPP, purchasing power parity. So you can see the global economic structure has changed. This is very different from 20 years back when Ashok and I took the metro from Washington to Rockville. We were talking about how the dragon and elephant can continue to fly and run, but now they have flown, they have run. So, and more importantly, its agricultural trade share has changed. If you look at the 10 largest agriculture trading countries, many of them actually are emerging economies. Brazil, Argentina, and India. India is also among the largest 10 agriculture trading countries. So not just the US, not just Europe. We have seen more sort of emerging economies coming to have become the large players. And on the other hand, some of the emerging economies have also become the largest importer. So China has switched from one of the largest agriculture exporter to one of the largest importers. So they import a huge amount of soybean, maize from Argentina, from Brazil, from US. So what I mean is all this have changed, and this will have fundamental implication on our future trade negotiations, particularly agricultural and food-related trade negotiations. And my second point is, despite this rapid rising of the emerging economies, even in Africa, food security, malnutrition remain a challenge. Eugenio mentioned about the food security. So right now, 850 million people still do not have enough to eat. So they are suffering from food insecurity. And more importantly, is the quality of that food. So 2 billion people are suffering from lack of micronutrients, called hidden hunger. Every year, we lose 2 to 3% of GDP because of this malnutrition. So I'm so glad that food security was pushed by India into the Bali debate. Yes, I agree we could have done more. David Oden said, yeah, we should make more progress. But I'm very glad that food security has been placed as one of the top priorities. So we should thank Indian colleagues for doing that. My third point is, however, how are you going to achieve food security? How are you going to achieve free of malnutrition? Is it the way India is doing right now? For the government to purchase large amount of food grains from farmers with a small bit, and then redistribute them to poor and hungry people through this so-called food security bill. Once again, I should also applaud India for introducing food security bill. However, let's also look at the cost side. Let's look at the efficiency side. This public distribution has been very efficient. It's not well targeted, and lots of leakages. So if we continue to pour in large amount of resources, grains, into that inefficient system, so I'm not sure whether poor and hungry people will benefit from that. But there is opportunity cost. So when Indian government spends 1% or even more than 1% of GDP on that food security bill, there is opportunity cost. With agriculture research investment, rural infrastructure, rural education. So all this public investment, Eugenio mentioned about this public goods. Well, I think almost everybody mentioned about this public goods. Investment in agriculture accounts very small compared to this food security bill, very small. There is opportunity cost. What would be the best way for the whole country to achieve, or even for the world to achieve, food security? So that's the three things I have learned. Now, the way forward, 3 points. So number one is analysis. We still need more analysis. David Nabeau has a very complex model. John, you should talk to him. He has a very complex model that can project and analyze the impact of various trade agreements. I don't know whether you have patience to look at all kinds of trade agreements, whether it's bilateral, regional, or global. The bilateral ones are so complex. I think the TPP or Trans-Pacific, Transatlantic probably will add more complexity into that. The more analysis is needed, particularly look at this so-called peace clause. I would call it a food security clause, because the peace goes beyond just food security. What would be the cost? What would be the benefits? What would be the best way to do it? So I think that we need another analysis to do it. The second point is a capacity. Yes, even here at the global level, some of the people who have worked on this issue for the last 30 or 40 years, they're still struggling with certain terminologies. Somebody mentioned, even I have a PhD, I still don't understand your terminologies. Could you imagine the developing countries, Africa, and to some extent Latin America probably is doing better than Africa, maybe even South Asian countries. They need the capacity to understand what's going on. They need the capacity to analyze the impact on them. I don't see that in Africa. So we need to work with them to build their capacity so they can analyze various options for them, various options they can achieve food, nutrition, security by using different types of options, including trade. So my last point is communication. Here I wanted to thank IPC to co-host this dialogue. I really hope that in the future we can do more. Dialogue to bring the issues, bring the knowledge, existing knowledge that we know, bring the issues, bring the gaps, and also tell us what we still don't know into the global debate. So the communication is critical. So with that, let me thank you. Thank you very much. Now we could have a round of applause.